Hello, I'm Steve.
And I'm Reece.
And we're here to talk about Series 8 of Inside Number 9.
When we pitched Number 9, we had this idea after Psychoville that we wanted to do shorter stories. We sort of said something like Tales of the Unexpected. There wasn't anything like that on TV at that time. But now there are increasingly more and more of that genre, aren't there?
It's quite nice in this day and age to be able to watch one episode of something, get your ending, and you're not having to watch the 5 or 6 episodes of padding that the writers have inserted.
We've grown very good at not writing padding. You can't when you've got 29 minutes to do a story. It's just good to not have someone tell you, it gets good season 15. It's like, well, sorry, I've not got that
Stick
long
with
left.
it. Stick with it.
It's really good after 25 years.
It's our sensibility, so we have a shared sense of humour, we have a shared love of horror, we have an absolute love of trying to keep something surprising. I think that really excites us, doesn't it? And that's what we're trying to give our audience, is that sense of anticipation of where this story's heading.
It's the best way to experience stuff if you've not even watched the trailer and you know very little about it, if anything, because then it literally unfolds as the creator of it probably intended.
Now we're on Series 8, we are discussing lots of things we've already discussed for previous series. For example, the Christmas episode, which is set around someone who's camping in a church. We talked about that a long time ago, didn't we?
Yeah.
We didn't know what to do with it though. And it was only when a Christmas theme was suggested that we put the camping with Christmas and thought, oh, there you go, you could have a really creepy ghost story.
We talk a lot about what we haven't done and what genre we might not have tackled, if there is any left. But sometimes, yeah, we will think, I want to play someone that's being blackmailed by a child. And I remember saying that.
That's a very specific
Mr.
thing.
King. It is a very specific King, yeah. But it was, I think it became Mr. King in the end. Or the idea of, you pull one thread and slowly everything goes wrong for this person that's tried to make everything not go wrong. And so that trajectory is something we've explored.
You just need that initial thing that fires your imagination.
How many have we done now? 50? 43?
8 times 6 is 48, plus 1 is 49.
I mean, I genuinely think that they're getting better. We always feel like we have explored something new and always really happy with the new 6 that we come up with.
We spent a long time on certain scripts, one in particular, Love is a Stranger, where we were almost paralysed by thinking, will the audience guess this or will the audience think this? And that's our problem because we set ourselves that challenge.
Number 9 has a reputation of pulling out of the bag amazing, jaw-dropping endings that you never saw coming. So we've got to be ahead of sending you down the wrong direction. And even the wrong direction now we start to think is going to give people clues as to what the real thing is. So it's an impossible task, I think, that we have. And all we can do is tell the story, knowing some people might be onto it, but not minding. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to do any more stories.
We don't write for particular audiences, we write to make each other laugh, and we write to try and keep surprising our audience. We've had an audience who's come all the way through with us from the League of Gentlemen, and we've got people who are introduced to it by having all the shows available on the iPlayer.
We know nothing of young people. I mean, maybe there are clips of it on memes.
It's on the TikTok, Reece.
We did a TikTok once, didn't we?
I suppose having a half-hour episode of an anthology series is the equivalent of a TikTok in modern parlance. You are getting your hit. Attention spans are getting shorter, but we still demand a lot of our audience, and I think that's key, and we would never want to patronise people, we'd never want to spoon-feed people. It's always been a writing project, first and foremost. It's not a vanity project about, look which characters we can play this week, and that's why often we'll be smaller characters and functional characters, and that's absolutely fine.
Just by osmosis, eventually, I think it becomes apparent who will probably play which part.
And also, it's got to be fair across a series. There's got to be, one where I'm playing a bigger part and 5 where Reece is playing a bigger part, and that's the way we've done it. Yeah. It's funny because it's true.
I'm not commenting on it. I'm hardly... Anyway, Series 8, I'm not in it. So it's good, he's finally got...
Yeah.
Steve is very reasonable.
Can you say that as if it's a compliment rather than a damning indictment of my character?
It's because I'm not, and I'm very hot-headed and get angry very quickly, and you go, calm down, let's just think about it. And he will always try to pull me from the roof.
Now breathe.
We've been working together for 25 to 30 years, let's say, and
Ridiculous.
to still go into a room and be able to sit with Reece, and sometimes he's on the floor crying with laughter. Not at something I've said, something he's thought of. It's a joy, you know, it's a joy to have that, and so it's something that's kept us together, is laughing.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I think that's true, yeah.